Hello and welcome back to the Review Realm, and today we are going to be discussing the film Jaws because according to this poster, it is one of the best 100 films of all time, and every Tuesday I review one of the films that is on this poster, so stick to the end of the video where you will see the random number generator pick which movie I'm going to review next week, so stay tuned for that. But Jaws is going to celebrate its 50th anniversary very, very soon. It's going to be re-released in theaters actually this month. So the timing of watching this movie was pretty good. And I am going to go back into the theaters and watch Jaws on the big screen. So do not panic. I will be there. But Jaws was first released in 1975. It's directed by Steven Spielberg and has the iconic John Williams score. You've definitely heard it. I know you have. And it has a runtime of 2 hours and 10 minutes. Jaws is set in a New England town where a great big shark is killing people, and you have the sheriff who wants to shut the beach down so no one else gets hurt. However, you do have a mayor who wants to keep it open because he is scared that it is going to affect the tourism and the revenue of this city. So you do have these two storylines of sort of the political and then also a scary shark eating people, num num. So it does try and balance both of them, and I would say for the most part it does a really good job of showing the politics side very well of, well, does public safety really matter when there's money involved? So it definitely does try and argue some different things with that, which I actually enjoyed that part. And then of course there's the obvious, there's a shark killing people, the suspenseful, the scary nature, which is what everyone thinks about when it comes to Jaws. And for great reason, because the way this film builds suspense is immaculate, honestly. With showing less of the shark, but the shark can still be very scary at times, just with the score, and then you just see this fin moving through the water. Something where it's like, if you just saw a fin in the water, it may not be as scary, but then you add the score and other elements to it, it becomes very suspenseful. You're not sure what's going to happen, how this is going to turn out. And I remember watching Jaws as a little kid and being absolutely terrified. I'm from a landlocked state, thank goodness, but I remember going to the beach and being like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be eaten with the shark. I'm just going to see a fin come and attack me. Like, it's going to be a whole thing. So it definitely did leave an imprint on me as a kid, and Jaws, I think, left an imprint on our culture as well. It's talked about all the time, especially if you are around the beach or the pool, you know? People pretend to be sharks all the time, or you'll hear them score all the time. People just repeat it. It's a part of our culture, even if they've never even seen Jaws. Like, most of the people I know who are actually referencing Jaws have never even seen Jaws, which is very weird and interesting, but it has just made an imprint on our culture that when going to pools and going to the beach, oh, watch out, Jaws, a scary shark is gonna eat you. There's things like that, and this film did really do a good job of showing a very scary shark killing people, building the anticipation. And with the United States, you know, there's sharks that are around these places. It did leave a big imprint on, because shark attacks do happen in real life, but this is obviously an exaggeration of it, but it did leave a huge imprint. Even 50 years later, people are still talking about Jaws. Not many movies you can say people are still talking about 50 years later, and like mainstream culture is still talking about it. So this film does a very good job of building the anticipation of the shark and illustrating some of the politics involved as well. Now, I do think there are some pacing issues in this film, and I think with modern technology, is it going to be the scariest thing you've ever seen nowadays? No, but it is a thriller. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a horror film, but some of the things can definitely seem outdated, I would say, but it's not that big of an issue, especially if you go into the lens of, hey, this was created in the 70s. So if you are going to watch Jaws, I think you aren't going to run into a lot of the problems. So I would just view it as, hey, it is an older movie, but it's still an iconic film that people reference, so you might as well watch it. And it really is the definition of a summer blockbuster. If you're going to think of a summer blockbuster, a summer film, Jaws should definitely be on this list. because it is just that iconic and that good. The way it builds the anticipation is what every film should do if they are trying to build anticipation within their films. But that's just my thoughts on Jaws. I would definitely recommend it, even if it seems a little old or outdated. Still give it a shot. It's still definitely worth it, just from a storytelling perspective. Now it is time to do the random number generator to pick which film it is going to be.
5 hours later.
And it is Fight Club. That is going to be our next film. So next Tuesday, you can hear my thoughts on Fight Club. I have seen that film before. So you'll hear my thoughts if I like the film or not next week, so stay tuned for that. But let me know if you are a huge fan of Jaws, if you're going to go to the 50th anniversary celebration, or if you just hate Jaws, hate sharks, hate the ocean. Let me know in the comment section down below. But have a great day. Bye!